Hi everyone, welcome to yet another video. In this video, we will learn about gRPC exploitation. So first of all, we'll learn about what gRPC is through this damn vulnerable gRPC application. We will interact with it, we'll learn about the tools, and I'll give you a basic idea about what vulnerabilities that you can look for. After that, it's just like simple API pen testing. So first of all, what is the RPC in gRPC stands for? So just to enumerate, G here stands for Google, and gRPC is a high performance open source remote procedure called RPC. So if you have done a few hack the box labs, you might know what RPC protocol is. So this was initially developed by Google, and it is designed to streamline service to service communication. So for example, let's say this is one machine, this is another machine, and if these both want to communicate, then in order to streamline that communication, gRPC is used. So this enables seamless connectivity between different services across distributed data centers. So you do not want that. If you want like a different service to interact with a different service using one simple communication method or framework, gRPC is pretty good. And unlike traditional HTTP REST APIs, what gRPC uses is something called protobuf. So it's very interesting. If you do Google bug bounty, I don't do that, but I have had a few people say or talk about protobuf, and this is what's being used in gRPC. So what protocol buffers or protobuf essentially does is it serializes data and deserializes it on the machine host, and gRPC is used as the tunnel which does the heavy lifting. So in this video, we'll install a damn vulnerable gRPC application using Docker, and you would require gRPC curl, which is easily available on Homebrew and Linux. Even I think should be available for Windows, and gRPC UI. So if you are a UI fan, this is something that will help you. So this looks like let's say Postman, and you can use this. So first of all, what we are going to do is we'll just look at the installation steps. Which first we git clone it, we navigate to the directory, make up and make enumerate. So make enumerate will only work if you have gRPC curl installed, which I am going to do this right now. So as you can see, I have make enumerate over here. I am sorry, I need to start my Docker. Once this is done, I should be able to run gRPC, damn vulnerable gRPC application. So meanwhile, what we can do is we can install gRPC UI. You can install it using brew, and the second way to do it is using go. So let me show it to you. Here you go. Here it is. Go install gRPC UI, right? So this is a pretty easy method of doing it. Once this is done, what we can do is just run make enumerate. But first of all, what you will do is type in make up followed by make enumerate, and this will help you get started with the damn vulnerable application. So here, as you can see, our application has started. So this is how it will look. Because I have gRPC UI running or gRPC curl running, what I can do is I can just list the services first. So this is the complete setup. As you can see, it's quite easy. So to interact with the application using gRPC curl, we'll just run it using the following command, which is this: gRPC curl plain text localhost 50051. Now why did I do this? This is because our application or gRPC is running on port 50051. How do I know that? Because when you type in make up, this will be the port that will show, and when you type list, what this does is it lists all the services. As you can see, these are the services which are active over here. So what this does is it allows us to list all the services that exist. Now generally in production, this should not happen, especially if this is client to server communication. So let's say if you are a user and you are using gRPC to interact with a machine that hosts this. For machine to machine, it might be fine because it's hosted internally, and one machine might require access to all the services that exist on the target host. But in production, if it's between client and server, this should typically not happen, especially if the client is a user, right? Because this lists all the services, and we can use the same command, describe, to find out what exists. So as you can see, the different methods that exist are execute raw query, get flag, get system info, and list all flags. So these are all the methods that will exist in a particular service. Now, if you want to find the body parameters that exist for any particular service, how can we do that? So let's take this as an example, which is the file service, and I will do this. As you can see, there are three methods that exist for the file service. What I will do is I will just take the request and just replace this with this, and as you can see, it accepts something called a file name. Now you might be wondering what this is, right? So this is called dot pro this is the content of a dot proto file. So that's why I said it uses protocol buffer, which is protobuf, and you might find this really interesting. Now that you have all the required parameters and everything, you can make use of this to interact with any particular service, right? So let me give you an example. Let's just try to run admin service, and we will run list all flags. And as you can see, this is how we run it: the name of the service slash name of the method, and this will list all the flags. So this is how you typically interact with this. But in production, we might not want to do this because this is quite tedious, and when you are testing, you have a limited time frame, right? So we might require a GUI interface. So the way you can do this is gRPC UI plain text and localhost followed by the port on which our application is running. So here we go, and it says that it does not exist, but it does exist. As you can see, it exists, and here we have it. Here is the gRPC web UI. It is connected to this particular host. You can also like intercept the request using burp and then make use of burp if you're not comfortable with this. But as you can see, it lists down everything in a pretty good way, and here, as you can see, you can make use of all the different things. It accepts the token, so we might need to send a token, but I hope you get the gist. You can use this to you can use this UI and this approach to just test gRPC just like you would test an API call. I hope this makes sense to you. You can make use of this particular GitHub repository to learn more about damn vulnerable gRPC applications and what issues to find with them. Most of the issues are specific to APIs. So as you can see here, mass assignment, metadata bypass, hard-coded credentials, timing attacks, DOS attacks, integer overflow, weak cryptography. So these are, I think, associated with JWT because it requires a token. Let me just give you an example. So auth service, let's log in. Username is going to be admin, and the password is going to be admin123. And if you invoke this, you get a JWT token. So now you can test this using JWT specific test cases as well. So I hoped this was of some use to you. See you in another video.